Hello, I'm Pinholes Graham. This is my face. This is my hair. Cool. Yeah, so this is a 10K celebration of 10K. I apologize for the way my throat sounds. I just got COVID last week and I'm still not completely better in the throat department. I'm well enough to destroy my face with hot sauces, which I have so generously bought for this self-destructive exercise. For the first sauce, we have none, because I only have 9 sauces. So the first sauce is just gonna be air. This is air.
Have you played hockey yourself? And at what level, what position, for how long?
I played hockey for, since I was 6, so how old am I now? I'm 24, so about 18 years. I have played mostly a forward. I very rarely played defense just because I don't have the reach or the body. I played goalie for 2 games, once in mites and once in squirts. I think we lost both games, probably because of me, if I'm being honest. But you know, that's fine. I have a lot of fun. Was there a second part to that question? I'm curious what makes them think I look like, or I seem like a goalie. Maybe just because of the goalie videos, but no, I played goalie. I didn't even have goalie equipment for it. I had like a regular player helmet and a player's cup, which was probably the most dangerous thing I've ever done in my entire life.
What kind of music do you like, Pinholes?
You know what? To answer that question, let me just go through Spotify, shuffle all my like songs, and we'll see which of the first 5 come up. Alright, number 1, Is There Anybody Out There by Pink Floyd. Great, awesome. That's not really carving myself any kind of niche, but whatever. Heart of the Country by Paul McCartney. Okay, I'm a massive Paul McCartney fan. The Beatles are my favorite band, and Paul McCartney is my favorite artist, as my roommates will hear no end of. And You Give Love a Bad Name by John Bon Jovi. So that actually was not a good representation of the music I like at all. It's just all kind of rock and goofy stuff. But yeah, I like the Beatles the most. Classic rock is pretty good. It's not my favorite, but I appreciate it when I hear it. I like Lecrae. I really like bluegrass. I like R.E.M. Don't have much taste in music beyond that. I'm kind of a buffoon.
The Police.
Oh, I like the Police. I really like the Police. The next sauce that we have upcoming here is one that you're all familiar with. It's an old spin on a new classic. It's Frank's Red Hot. It's an obligation to put it on something, so this has a Scoville rating of 450, which is nothing. That was just as meh as I thought it would be. This is the part in the episode of Hot One. I might have just coughed out some meat, I'm so sorry. The acoustic guitar music starts up because you haven't really gotten to the actual spicy stuff yet. I'm gonna remind my future self in editing to put in the just silly, dainty acoustic guitar music.
What former arena would you like to visit the most?
Part of me wants to say the Joe Louis Arena, just because I like the Avalanche and the Dead Puck era, and all the fights that went on there were massive parts of hockey history. But the historian in me wants to say the Montreal Forum. I want to go back to the era where the ice was separated from spectators by like a chain link fence and not actual glass, and back to where coaches were still wearing fedoras and trilbies and what have you. Just soaking up the Montreal atmosphere, I think, would be great. Hopefully I would be able to learn French by the time time travel is invented, but I doubt it, because French is harder to learn than time travel is to develop. I'm also just absolutely cleaning out these wings, by the way. I'm not going to leave any meat on the bone. I'm a trooper.
How long does it take you to make a series from the background through the start of the series to the end?
I've actually thought about this so I could be able to pace myself and, like, set a schedule. When I first started, it took about 3 weeks. But as time goes on, it sort of evolved into more like a month, a week. I mean, this is considering the fact that I also have a full-time job. It would take about a week to gather all the background information. Despite generally knowing like who won the series and stuff, I would write the background stuff first without actually watching the games. To sort of set the series up as if someone was experiencing it for the first time, as if I was experiencing it for the first time, because I think that's more effective storytelling-wise. And then the most tedious part is definitely editing down the footage and viewing the actual game. Now it's a great hockey pastime to watch old footage, but you know, if you're watching a whole series not for your own entertainment but for more like dissecting purposes and analysis, it can get a little grating. So sometimes, I try not to do it, but sometimes I'll put the footage that I'm reviewing on 2 times on double speed so that I don't have to sit through, a full 7 games or however long the series is. And third part of that question, editing the ending is usually the quickest part because I'm usually just so sick of it by then that I want to get the video over and done with. Next up we have dakine, I don't know, the kind of Hawaiian hot mustard sauce. Hawaiian dakine hot mustard sauce or whatever. That's good. It actually tastes like mustard.
If you could make a new NHL accolade award, what would it be for?
Best defensive defenseman. They do not get enough recognition, and the award the NHL currently has for best defenseman is usually just for most flashy / skilled defenseman. And I get that's the image that the NHL is wanting to promote, but there's nothing like just boxing the absolute living crap out of someone in front of your own crease like defensemen can do and often do, and it's so valuable to a team, and it doesn't really get any kind of recognition, much less recognition that it deserves.
What video of yours do you hate the most?
I don't know if I hate how any of them turned out. I definitely hated the process of some of them. I think I probably had the least fun making the Red Wings Kings 2001 playoffs pass video. Got a little tedious going through it. Oh, you know what? Also the blowouts video, because I'd download all the different flags and put them all up and all the different giant lists of all the blowouts. That took forever. And it's a great video. Like, I like that video. It was just really irritating to make, unfortunately. It is what it is. So I don't hate any of my videos, but some of the process definitely got pretty wrist slitty at some points.
I'm gonna ask, what video of yours do you like the most?
Ooh, probably the LOHL video. I mean, I don't know. I don't think I need to explain why. It's a pretty great video. I gotta finish it up. Oh, all right, no. Wait, I gotta clean it off. I swore. This is Secret Aardvark Habanero hot sauce, which has probably got to be the ugliest freaking container for hot sauce I've ever seen. It looks like a 90s ECHL logo. It is just bad. All right. Mid. No, it's good. It's fine. Still not too spicy. Oh wait, hold up. It kicks in a little bit afterwards. If I cough, it's because I have an itchy throat, and not because of the spice. I want to make that very clear.
Fighting in hockey and the whole player's self-governance practice in general. What are your thoughts?
Well, I don't absolutely love fighting, but I like fighting. I think it's been a part of hockey for so long that hockey doesn't really know what its identity is without it. And it's not gone from the game, and I don't think it will ever be banned from the game. I don't know, it's a really complicated question because how do you bring back something that's part of an identity that's being lost, right? Do you just remove the instigator rule? I don't think you can. Like, what'll that do? Like, does anyone in the league have the sort of knowledge of how and when to fight that an enforcer back in the day would? Like, I don't know, for example, just someone on the Ottawa Senators, would they know when and where and how to go after Morgan Riley for cross-checking Ridley Greig and his schnoz? I don't know. Like, they might be completely clueless and they might do something stupid which gets them penalized and there won't be any actual retribution. So, like, my point in saying that is that, like, it's not just a culture thing and, like, whether or not it has a place in the game or whatever, but it was also kind of a zeitgeist of its time in that players kind of instinctively knew what to do, regardless of whether or not they were actually fighters. They knew where fighters were going to be, what they were going to do, and how. They had a general idea of, where the pendulum of retribution was swinging. Players nowadays, because it's so far removed from those days of so much fighting, I don't know if they really have that same sense. So it's sort of hard to say, like, what the place of fighting is now. I would like it to come back. Because it doesn't have as much of a place as it used to. But if it does come back, people who would fight a lot would have to, I think, relearn the code, kind of. I don't know, that's just my opinion as an outsider. Maybe someone else who's closer to the game has a better, more accurate opinion, but you asked, nerd.
How do you see the popularity of hockey? Is it going up or down?
It's another difficult question because it should be going up, but it's being made so hard to actually see because of all like the streaming wars and whatnot that I feel like popularity is going down. Wasn't like last year's final one of the lowest viewed in like 20 years or something like that? And also just, you know, marketing for the NHL is a fucking disaster. So, I mean, if they don't know what they're doing, then people aren't gonna know what to see. This is Yellow Bird Habanero Hot Sauce. I am going to eat it. That one is sweet, but it's got kind of a spice that rises up into your sinuses and prickles a little bit.
To what degree is a hockey team's success dependent on solid goaltending?
Almost all of it. Almost all of it. I think, let me put it this way. A bad team will be carried further by a good goalie way more often and way more further than a really good team with a bad goalie. I think you probably count the teams that have gone on like deep playoff runs or whatever with terrible goalies on one hand. Like all it takes is one massive save to turn the tide of the game or one soft goal to just, you know, so I would say goaltending is a disproportionately huge part of success. And it's not fair to the goalies, but oh my God, this is so good.
Is there a player that nobody talks about whom you really like?
Matt Niskanen. I really like Matt Niskanen. Sad to see him go to the Flyers, especially for Radko Gudas. He seemed like a really good dude. Really solid defenseman. Had a great shutdown pairing with Dmitry Orlov while he was in Washington. And Dmitry Orlov too. Like, I don't know why he's getting 16 minutes in Carolina a game. Maybe he sucks now. But Dmitry Orlov is a fantastic all-around defenseman. Matt Hendricks, I really like from back in the Capitals days. Matt Bradley. Halfway through, haven't even taken a sip, haven't broken a sweat. We're doing this. All right, time to represent the homeland. Capital City Mambo Sauce. Capital City, of course, being Paris. This one is only on the docket because it represents the homeland. That being DC. DC is a terrible city, by the way. I do not like DC. See how it goes. I think I put these in the wrong order. This is the tamest sauce I've had so far.
What video games do you play, and what's your favorite video game?
It's not one of the questions.
I know it isn't one of the
You're
questions.
just asking that. Oh, God.
Would you kiss YOUPPI?
It's not a question of would. It's a question of can I get close enough to absolutely I haven't really thought about which NHL mascots I can really make out with, because that sort of borders into sexual deviancy, which I am not a fan of. I fear the Lord. This is a sauce that I got in North Carolina. It's called the Spicy Shark. I think, no, the Spicy Shark is the flavor. I think it's like Eat the Heat is the brand or something, I don't know. And this one's pretty, it's got some zing to it, but I really like the taste.
Does it seem contradictory to you that hockey is the most popular sport in Canada, but it only has 7 teams?
That's a good question. I say that a lot. I need to switch it up. That's a bad question. No, I think it makes perfect sense. It sucks, but it's a business, and ultimately, you know, the United States has 10 times the population of Canada. You're gonna get a lot more exposure and a lot more money out of those 25 teams than you are out of just 7, regardless of how devoted they are. I think the NHL probably will expand one more time into Canada for all said and done. I have no idea where. I don't really care. Honestly, I think 30 teams is enough.
Which Penguin do you think owns the Capitals the most? In parentheses, there are many to choose from.
Well, I'm really like going through the list in my head. It's gotta be Jágr. I mean, not only was Jágr in his prime, like against the Capitals in the mid-90s, but also when he came to the Capitals, he definitely like just did not try to be Jágr. Like, he was a point per game player, which is great, and even, you know, Jágr at 75% is a fantastic player, but he didn't really try when he was with the Capitals. But the hell of it is he had good reason. It's because the Capitals were kind of a crap franchise at the time. Like, their practice rink had leaks. He was a superstar, right? Like, one of the best in the world, and he was expected to revive a team that was just kind of, and, you know, didn't have the respect of a real NHL franchise. And he was right. When he left, we were even worse, and the fact that we got even worse meant that we were able to draft Ovechkin. So I think you could indirectly say that Jágr's influence in his 3-year tenure in Washington meant that we got Ovechkin. The only thing that's worse than someone owning you is someone owning you and being the reason that you're good, so you can't really get back at him in any way. This is called Ghost Scream, so hopefully I will neither scream nor turn into a ghost. So there's a lot on there. Let's see how we do. Man, I'm still really not feeling anything.
If you were a goalie, who would you rather face a slap shot from? Prime Ovechkin, Prime Chara, or Prime Weber?
I'm gonna say Prime Ovechkin, because there's a good chance that puck is just gonna miss me and go right in the net. Okay, this one I'm sort of feeling it more. It's more like hot on the lips than it is in the mouth. And as soon as I say that, I start feeling it in my mouth. All right, now we're getting into the intimidating names. This one is called Exitium, like Exitium or Exitium. I don't know, I don't speak Latin. This one, it looks like poison. It's like yellow and like just water. Sorry for the lack of reaction. I guess I'm just too tough, or maybe the sauces are too weak, but I feel like that's about to change here. It's fine. Ooh, now I'm starting to feel it. Pretty spicy. I can handle it. So it's not that bad. Definitely a lot more spicy than the last ones, though. Also, this Exitium, it says it's like all the way hot. So like I'm not pussyfooting around here. I'm just invincible. This is called the Reaper XXX Pucker Butt Squeezins. All right, this one looks vile. Like this one looks like it'll just go right through me. All right, here we go. Uh-oh. I took a bite, I just felt all the pores open. Wow. Oh, once you swallow that, it gets bad. Oh, wow. Oh, I think we hit the quota. Oh, God. Oh, hi.
Willem Dafoe was with Byron Dafoe, and they had been turned evil and were dangling 3 different people over the edge of the Washington Market. Brad Marchand, Jordan Bennington, and Tony D'Angelo. And you were tasked with giving Tom Wilson directions. He could only save one at a time. Not knowing when the Dafoes would drop them, who would you direct him to save first?
Oh, God. Well, Brad Marchand's hitting the floor. I'm just saying that right now. Tony D'Angelo first. Then Jordan Bennington. I don't know. Oh, wow. Dude, once I swallowed that, it was just like, it's right hitting my tonsils, and I don't even have tonsils. Wow. But I made a promise. I made a promise to clean out the wings. I'm gonna do it. And I get Willem Dafoe's autograph. I get it. I get a handshake with him. At the very instant that Brad Marchand would splatter on the ground. That's pretty sadistic. I'm sorry, I'm dying over here. I'm in a sadistic mood. Oh, that's a great question. I know who asked that question too. Icewire. Hope you're happy. I am miserable right now.
What's the story behind your YouTube channel name?
It's an anagram.
There you have it, folks.
That's it. Oh, come on. You're just gonna have to guess. Hold on, I'm almost done cleaning it off. Okay, I'm just gonna make sure there's no more meat on them. I cleaned them all off. You know what? That hurt going down. Because like the milk had to fight through the spice. This one was like, it hit the spice wall and just like pushed it all down. I paid the price for talking smack to the King Reaper XXX Pucker Butt Squeezins at the beginning. Dude, I'll tell you what, I can't tell which ear is that came, I don't know what I'm saying. Like, I feel like the balance sensors in my ears are gone. Wow. Oh, wow. So hopefully those were some satisfactory answers to your questions. Okay, hold on. All right. So that's it for the 10K special of me talking smack and then ending up torturing myself at the end of the... Oh, man, I have boogers just falling out of my face now. I'm so sorry. I'm a mess, everybody. Yo, chat. You think I'm just full of cap right now? Yo, chat. Yo, on God. Thank you all for watching my 10K special Q&A Hot Ones thing. Here's to the next 10K. Thank you all for sticking around. I will have a goofy video for you next, and then it'll be April. Patreon is not out yet. I'm still making some updates and preparations to that. It will come out with my next long form video. I'll have an announcement and everything. That'll all be there for you. It'll be a great time. If you haven't checked the community tab yet, one of my last posts is about the different tiers and what the different offers are going to be. So have fun perusing through that. And if you have any questions, just ask them. Once again, this has been Anagram, Pinholes, Grammar Man with Reaper XXX, Puckerbutt Squeezins, and company. Thank you all for hanging around and watching me suffer. If I can suffer, at least I'm, it's monetized.